Hello, this is Hallicrafters Rehabs signing on tonight in my first attempt at a live YouTube video, and it might be my last. I've been working on this for almost 2 days, fiddling with these gadgets to try and do this, and so the big challenge is internet upload speed, and I don't know if you can see very well the monitor. It's actually not very clear, but if you look down there at the monitor, it's not very good upload speeds, so that's going to cause a problem. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it will be at this hour we'll get good enough upload speeds for it to be a useful activity. We have pretty good conditions tonight. Not because we have any sunspots. The disk is totally empty of the solar disk is totally empty of sunspots, and there are but we have a hole in the solar magnetic field, which allows higher solar wind, which has improved our ionosphere a little bit for shortwave listening. This is not a scientific thing here, because for one thing, we don't even have the same speakers. They're both 4 ohm impedance speakers, even though one's inside a Hallicrafters case there. But that's one aspect of this. It's not quite, and there's just all kinds of little conditions like that aren't the same. But what the main thing is just to see how these perform under the same circumstances, and how does it sound? That's really what we're trying to do. And we're not going to do long live videos. We'll just get this done on a few stations at certain times. A lot of times people will finish restoring a radio and then they'll just do a band sweep. Well, how does it perform under all kinds of circumstances? So, let's see if I got that. Okay. So, just a little tour of what we're looking at. I'll get this out of the way. We've got, I've got a listener here. I'll just say hello, but I hope you can hear what I'm saying. This is a SX-100. It has not been restored. It is serviced. I got it in 13. I ran it. It stopped working. I didn't know how to fix it. I tried doing tubes, and then recapped it. Still didn't work until I shotgunned my way through to finally get it to work. But because I didn't know really how to do this kind of stuff back then. And I lined it twice, once with just a meter and then a signal generator, and the second time with an oscilloscope. So it's been a good performer, but until I get it on the spectrum analyzer, the notch frequency and the notch depth aspects of it are not going to be working very well. But it has been my workhorse over the past years, recent years. Up in this corner, weighing in at 28 or 29 pounds and 1 hernia, is an SX-99. This is my first attempt at a restore. It's a phoenix that arose from the ashes, or the junk heap. and it is a good performer now. And so we'll see how that we hear that one. And then my current pride and joy is this SX-99. So they'll be competing, you know, pretty much on the same level. They each have their positives, and then the referee is the solid state. This is Japan Radio NRD 535D. Okay, not exactly fair, but that's why I call it a referee. On the other hand, we'll just see how it sounds, and then maybe the whole point behind this exercise is to show that these old war horses are good good sets that can be used today in every way as much as these, at least for shortwave listening. So what we're listening at first is Angola radio, national radio, or in Luanda. It's on most nights. We've got good conditions tonight, so it's actually discernible tonight. And I'm not using this preamp under these conditions. If I turn this on, I have to attenuate it. It's too much. I have already an antenna tuner with a little bit of preamp in it, not much, and that's enough. Just tune the antenna. It's the same antenna that feeds all four radios, and so they're all on the same at the same level. So that this is what it sounds like on the referee. Okay, that's with the exalted carrier synchronized signal. Doesn't really help much. This is on the wide setting, and that's the intermediate setting. And in reality, this station has been fading in and out over the past hour. So let's see what the SX-99 does. We'll tune this a little bit. These have been warming up now for several hours. Okay. So right now it seems like that whole station is faded out quite a bit. We do have a carrier, but not much in the way of discernible signal. Let's look at the SX-100. Same thing. Not much help there. Now both the 100 and the 99 have an antenna compensator, but the SX-71 does not. Almost nothing. Okay, I didn't want that. Oh. I don't know how to stop it now. There we go. Okay, enough of that. Let's see what the SX-71's doing. And there's very little right now. There's actually more discernible signal there. I don't know if you can hear it. You can at least tell there's music. Compare that with 99. Now these, I like the crystal phasing better than about anything else. Not much there. About the same as what we get here. Maybe a little more discernibility here. Do not go by the S meters. I've done actually a video on S meters of these radios, and they are. This is fairly close to calibrated. This one is not, and this one seems a little bit off too. This one I would say is close to calibrated. So I'm thinking the SX-79, from my position, it's hard for you to tell, I'm sure. I got a note here, so so anyway, this one, they're very close. Now, why would this one not do so well for this station? Because sensitivity is going to vary in these units across the band. And it has a lot to do with how the RF alignment was done and where you set the antenna section on the RF alignment. I have a tendency not to use the book, but to actually choose a part of the band that I'm most likely to listen to. So on this low end here is probably not as sensitive as it will be in other places. On this one, on this band, you really only have one choice too, as well as this one. Okay, so that's pretty good. They're coming back, actually. So SX-100, the quality of the signal is going to be different because they're different speakers, and they're both, cheap little amplifier, Chinese knockoff 10-inch speakers, but they're still different. And then this is, you're not going to hear it enough to identify the station. You just have to use listings like shortwave scans to find it. Okay, the second station we're going to try at this hour is in Botswana. See how that's coming in. Oh, a real signal here. Okay. So our referee is there doing a pretty good job. We'll listen to that while I'm pulling up these others. Much better signal than Angola, which is what it was the other night when I was planning this. Okay, there's your standard up there. Let's check the 100 against it. This is Voice of America in Botswana relay. That's almost listenable. I mean, you could sit and listen to the news on this. I'm using an inverted L. This is a visible map here, and when oriented north, I find it's pretty sensitive to Africa, China, much of the world actually. Least sensitive to it in this area. Well, that's very listenable, isn't it? Oh, that's because I'm listening to the Japan radio. Same thing here. How about I might rather listen to music on the SX-79, but you're going to be able to actually hear and discern what's being said better on the 100. Oh, that's completely understandable. So this signal is coming in around S9 everywhere. And this one is doing a great job on it too, the 99. Look how that crystal phasing just clears it right up. I prefer that. Now try and do that over here with this fancy deal. Yeah, it does a good job too. But there's no adjustment. It's either that or nothing. When we get a heterodon, we'll see the difference. How about down here? Oh yeah. This is not even challenging here. But I think if I had to actually ID the station and listen to what's being said, I'd do it on the 100 today, on this one. Okay. All right. What do we have next? Well, it's a little bit early, but we might be able to get Madagascar. Let's give it a shot. There it is. Okay. This is the Malagasy Republic National Radio, Madagascar. This time of year, these conditions, southeast Africa actually comes in pretty well. So our referee is giving us a very listenable copy. All right, well, that's there. Let's tune these others. Okay. This is the sound here. You see how it's different from receiver to receiver, station to station. Here you got it. You can almost sit and listen here. The 100's struggling a little bit. All right. Well, let's see what the 71 does. Now this is the beauty of crystal phasing. I compare that one with this one, the Japan. They're almost directly comparable. About the SX-99. Don't forget about me, he says. Or she. It's a little touchier tuning radio than the others because it doesn't have a flywheel. These have geared flywheel main tuning, and it's really magnificent. This is just basically a fishing line dial cord. So it's got a little flyback, and it just jumps around a little bit. Okay, but that's still pretty good there for that SX-99. And actually getting a Madagascar on 5.01 megahertz is a pretty exciting thing in shortwave listening. I would say they're either even, but I think I would rather listen to the overall sound of the SX-71. In this case, the 100's a little harder to listen to. It has nothing to do, it's just a different station. So maybe so what we should have is a warehouse full of radios, and we just go from one to the next, right? Okay, what's next on the slate? That's a good time to try. We're going to be give it a minute or two, then we'll try and see if Zanzibar Broadcasting Corporation is coming through. Well, tonight we might hear something. wait for a sign. So it doesn't sign on until 7 minutes after. So we can listen to Madagascar music, which is not really Madagascar music. On the broad setting. And on the normal. Not nearly as listenable as on the sharp. So as is often is the case, we have a 1 minute break here before we go to the next one. Let's see if we have Zanzibar yet. Let's give it a tune up. Something's there now. Zanzibar is on 6015. I should tell you what the other ones are. So Zanzibar right now, 6015. We were on Voice of America, Botswana at 4930 kilohertz. And before that at Angola, 4950 kilohertz. We got something here. The sign on is at 27 minutes after, so we're 1 minute into it. Barely a carrier. Barely a carrier and not much else. And we'll try this one. It says, don't leave me out. It's something there. Definitely an IF can saying, I've got a signal, I've got a signal. But nothing much with it. So you wouldn't have enough to log here. But it's there. Just barely something coming through. Maybe a little later in the evening. Okay. So my next attempt is an old staple. 205 on 7205 Sudan should be signing on now. Not much there. Just because we have a little better in one area doesn't mean a thing to the next place. Not much there. Hit or miss. And they could not be. Some of these stations are not very reliable. Just like me, huh? I don't discern a carrier. Let's tune it a little better. But that helps. Now it sounds like there's somebody there. But barely. Hardly a carrier. So there you are. That's why you monitor the bands a lot, because anything can happen. Now the SX-99 is showing a, well, it always shows a little more carrier than still. In this case, there is a carrier there, but nothing else. Maybe they haven't signed on yet. They may be a little tardy. While we're up there, there may be something else we can listen to. I really don't hear much of anything. I always check for Eritrea. But WHRI. Just looking for another good station to compare. Hallicrafters Iran. That's a good one because it's got a lot of interference. So that is Iran on 7360. And there is a Radio Marti jammed transmission on 7355. And that spills over. But you can actually see that pretty well. All right. Well, let's see what the other radios do with the adjacent. You can hear that they're both on chart. Look how that just went right back out with the crystal phasing. Very nicely. All right. That's listenable. Then we'll go here on the referee. They should be able to deal with it fine with the upper. That's the USB exalted carrier synchronized signal. And that's listenable. But compare that with this. There's a little bit of a heterodyne, but you just filter that out there. Very nicely done. Hard to tell which one is which. This one allows more of the audio bandwidth in with the filtration. So it's a little bit easier to discern what's being said. A little better on the SX-99. I'm just prejudiced. That's all there is to it. And here comes 100. Then we're going to have to use the selectivity on this one. And I suspect if the notch in it worked properly, it would do a better job. Not like this one. Well, the signal faded out, so that's another thing. No 2 minutes are the same. Like snowflakes, reception of shortwave signals are never the same 1 second to the next. Definitely not as good as the interference as the 71 or the 99. Very nicely done. And of course, that size. The signal's fading. Okay, we're going to give Sudan one more shot and Zanzibar one more shot, and I think we're going to call it a night. This is not going to be long-term kind of stuff here. Nothing in Sudan. I'm getting something. Zanzibar. There we are. Just came back to it a little later, and there we are. How about that? They just were a little late in getting online or on the air. Here it is on the 100. Very listenable. Reading from the Quran. That's the SX-99 there. Zanzibar. 6015 kilohertz. Tune this a little better. There we are. And then I'm actually liking the 99 better. In the 100. So the 99 looks like it's better. Well, it's a referee. That's solid state. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the lower sideband ECSS. That's pretty good. Let's see what this. So that's the best the 99 can do. That's the best the Japan radio could do. I think I like the 99 better. turned the tone down on that too. That's what did it. That's the difference. We can do the same with the Japan radio. But that doesn't help much in Japan radio. There's a little bit of adjacent interference from 6,000. Actually, is a really powerful signal from Cuba. And it's totally filtered out here on the 99. There are all kinds of little variables in how these radios work and how they were tuned up and aligned. That a certain station will come through better on one than the other, and then they'll be move around to a different set. The SX-99 wins the Zanzibar competition. It's the Zanzibar certificate. The 100s does well too. I've got it stopped down to 2 kilohertz filtering. Really quite good. All right. Well, while we're here, let's see about Zambia. Yeah, it's there. 5915. 5915 is Zambia. Very nice signal. Adjacent signal interference, but this crystal phasing knocks it right out. Very nicely done. Very nice. Let's see how about the SX-79. Okay, that's 71. And that's the 99, and I like the 99 better. '71. They're really close. And it's the crystal phasing that makes a difference. I generally don't use anything with the sharp selectivity. 99 wins, okay. And that's very nice. 100 also. Well, here we have it. You don't have a good solution on the Japan radio, you get a head from that. You can hear it and understand it and everything like the others, but this is a smoother signal. And the SX-99 and this 100. So the tube radios do a better job with this one of Zambia, Lusaka, Zambia, on 5915 than the solid state. This one can't get rid of the head today. It's got most of it out. Tone is really the choice. Yeah, they're very close. Okay, I think we can probably call it a night. That was a lot of fun. We'll keep these warmed up all night long, and then we'll come back to it at 6 o'clock in the morning. And this is Hallicrafters Rehabs. Good night.